Hello everyone, this is Abul Hassan Fahim on behalf of Group 4. Today we will be talking about the Digital Security Act of Bangladesh, navigating legal impacts on business in Bangladesh. Here, me and my fellow classmates will be talking about the Digital Security Acts thoroughly. How does it impact the whole businesses of Bangladesh? How to mitigate all the problems that are associated with this kind of legal digital security acts and so on and so forth.
Hello, my name is Ashik Anwardeep, and I'm going to talk about Digital Security Act, what it is, especially from Bangladesh perspective. The term of Digital Security Act does not refer to a specific law or act that is universally recognized. However, there are several countries that have enacted laws with similar names to regulate that and address various aspects of digital security, cybersecurity, and online activities. Now, from Bangladesh perspective, Digital Security Act of Bangladesh, which was passed in 2018, this law aimed at addressing issues related to digital security, including cybercrime, data protection, and online offenses. The Act outlines various offenses and their corresponding penalties, such as unauthorized access to computer systems, data theft, spreading fake information, and defamation through digital means. Now, for my next slide, I'm going to talk about pros of Digital Security Act in Bangladesh. The Digital Security Act in Bangladesh, like any legislation, has certain perceived benefits or pros. Here are some potential advantages associated with Digital Security Act from perspective of its proponents. First of all, addressing cybercrime. The Digital Security Act provides a legal framework to combat cybercrimes such as unauthorized access, data theft, and hacking. It enables law enforcement agencies to take action against individuals or groups involved in online criminal activities, thereby promoting digital security within the country. Now, my second problem is protecting personal data and privacy. The Act emphasizes the protection of personal data and privacy rights of individuals. It forbids unauthorized collection, retention, and disclosure of personal information, contributing to the safeguarding sensitive data for misuse or exploitation. My third point will be combating fake news and misinformation. The Act includes provisions to address the spread of fake information and misinformation, which can have determined effects on society. By discouraging the publication or transmission of false information, the Act aims to promote the dissemination of accurate and reliable content. My next point will be enhancing the law enforcement capabilities. The Digital Security Act grants authorities the power to investigate cybercrimes, obtain detailed evidence, and take necessary action prevent mitigate such offenses. This enables law enforcement agencies to better respond to digital threats, ensure safer online environment. Last of all will be defense against cybercriminals. The Act penalizes and promotion serve such as deterrent to promote cybercriminals. The fear of legal consequences may discourage individuals or groups from engaging in malicious activities online, thereby contributing to a more secure and digital landscape. All in all, it's important to note that the perceived benefits should be weighed against its potential drawbacks too. Now for my next slide, I'm going to talk about the cons of Digital Security Act in Bangladesh. The Digital Security Act in Bangladesh has faced criticism from various quarters, with such concerns raised about its potential drawbacks. Here are some potential drawbacks. Restriction of freedom of expression. Critics argue that the Act has been used to suppress freedom of expression and curtail dissent. The broader language of the Prohibition Act can be interpreted in a way that allows authorities to target individuals of groups critical of government or expressing unpopular opinions. Vague and ambiguous provisions. Some provisions in the Act are considered vague and open to broad interpretation. This lacks clarity, can lead to arbitrary enforcement and abuse of power, as authorities may use the Act to target individuals without clear evidence of wrongdoing. My third point will be chilling effect on online activities. The existence of strict penalties under the Act can create chilling effect on online activities, leading to self-censorship among individuals, media outlets, social media users. Fear of legal consequences may discourage individuals from expressing opinions or engaging in legitimate online activities. Now, lack of safeguard for digital rights. Critics agree that the Act lacks adequate safeguards for digital rights and privacy. The provision related to surveillance, data collection, and investigation raise concern about potential violence, privacy rights, and unchecked government surveillance. Um, Disappropriate penalties. The Act imposes several penalties, including lengthy imprisonment and hefty fines. For certain offences, it is argued that these penalties may be disproportionate to the nature of the offence. The potential misuse and abuse of power. The Board of Power granted law enforcement agencies under the Act raises concern about the potential misuse of and abuse of the power. There have been instances where the Act has been used to target journalists, activists, and individuals expressing their concerns, questions about the imperial enforcement. So, it's important to know that these drawbacks are considered by the critics. All in all, digital security from Bangladesh perspective has some pros, has some cons to it. But I think Digital Security Act is necessary for a country to progress. Thank you very much. That's all for my part.
Here I'll be talking about the legal risk of Digital Security Act in businesses. So first of all, I'd like to start with the compliance issue. So it says that failure to comply with the Digital Security Act's provision and regulation can lead to penalties, fines, or legal actions. According to report by Article 19, a human rights organization, the Digital Security Act has been used to suppress freedom of expression, resulting in a chilling effect on individuals and businesses. In October 2018 to September 21, more than 1,000 cases were being filed under the Act of Digital Security Act, leading to arrest and prosecutions. Next is ambiguity in interpretation. The Digital Security Act's language may open to interpretation, leading to uncertainties about what constitutes an offense. Several provisions in the Digital Security Act, such as Section 21 regarding spreading propagandas, have been criticized for their vague language, allowing for subjective interpretations. Next is overreach and freedom of expressions. The Digital Security Act's provision may unintentionally infringe upon freedom of expressions, raising concern for businesses involved in online content creation and sharing. Human rights organizations such as Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch have expressed concern that the act is being used to target journalists, activists, and individuals critical of government. Lastly, data privacy concern. The Digital Security Act's requirement for data retention, surveillance, and accesses may conflict with privacy regulations, potentially exposing business to legal risks. So here I'll be talking about implication of Digital Security Act in businesses. So I will start with compliance cost. So the cost of compliance can vary depending on the size and nature of businesses. Large companies may need to allocate substantial resources to establish robust digital security measures or the data security matters, conduct regulatory audits and giving training to the employee on compliance protocol. Small and the medium-sized organization may face challenges in allocating such sufficient fund for compliance, potentially impacting their competitiveness and the growth as well. Secondly, I'll be talking about the reputation and customer trust. Non-compliance with the DSA or the negative publicity resulting from the legal actions can harm a business's reputation and erode the customer trust as well. And negative perception can affect the customer loyalty, market share, and overall brand images of a particular company. And lastly, I'll be talking about the international perception about this Digital Security Act, which can be businesses operating in the business Bangladesh may face scrutiny from the international stakeholder, including investors, partners regarding their compliance with the digital security laws. International investor and the business partners may assess the legal environment and regulatory compliance when making decisions about their investment, partnership, or collaboration. So the World Bank's ease of doing business index considered regulatory factors, including legal frameworks, when assessing a country's attractiveness for foreign direct investments.
Hello everyone, this is Isan Munir Salihin. Now we'll be talking about the misuse of Digital Security Act in Bangladesh and give some examples as well. So Bangladesh Digital Security Act is creating a culture of fear. The Digital Security Act was enacted in 2018 to provide cyber security to citizens, but its wide scope and vague provisions are being exploited for more nefarious purposes. Human rights defenders have repeatedly highlighted that the act can be used as a weapon to muzzle contrarian voices from exercising their freedom of expression, particularly the press. Um, but this is only the tip of the iceberg of problems that it poses. The act can be abused to harass anybody from any profession, not just journalists. The most dangerous aspect of the DSA is the wide range of offenses it considers cognizable and non-bailable. Such offenses allow police to conduct an investigation and carry out an arrest without an order of the court or warrant, and the accused has no choice but to languish in jail until he is tried. Even if the case is eventually dismissed, the damage has already been done. All offenses under the previous Information and Communication Act, ICT Act 2016, were initially non-cognizable and bailable. However, an amendment in 2013 made sections 54, 56, 57 and 61 cognizable and non-bailable, and sections 55, 58, 59, 60, 62, 63, 64 and 65 were left as non-cognizable and bailable, but the vast majority of ICT Act cases were filed under section 57, which concerns the posting of fake, obscene, or defamatory information on an electronic platform that can disrupt the law and order or hurt religious sentiments. The ICT Act was used to harass many freethinkers in Bangladesh, and the situation has only become worse since it was replaced with the DSA in 2018. Most of the complainants in DSA cases were found to be affiliated with the ruling party or the police. Now I'll be talking about two examples that I've chosen regarding the misuse of DSA. Author and social activist Mustaq Ahmed died in a Bangladeshi jail on February 25, 2021 after being detained and allegedly tortured for a social media post critical of the government. Ahmed was arrested on May 6, 2021 under the DSA for his social media comments. Uh, Police charged Ahmed with spreading rumors on social media, tarnishing the image of the country's founding father Sheikh Mujib Rahman, and hurting the spirit of the 1971 Liberation War. He was denied bail 6 times. The DSA passed in 2018 includes a jail sentence of up to 14 years for any propaganda or campaign against the country's independence war, its founding father, the national anthem, or the flag. So, and there is another person, Ahmed Kobir Kishore, a cartoonist and social activist, languished in prison for more than 10 months before getting out of bail on March 4, 2021. He was denied bail 6 times as well before being released following widespread protest and an international outcry. He alleged that he was tortured in custody. He and 6 others were indicted in February 2022. Both of these cases have one thing in common. All were filed under Bangladesh's 2018 Digital Security Act. The law, which came into force on October 1, 2018, has become the government's and ruling party activist preferred weapon to muzzle critics and stymie their freedom of expression, especially in cyberspace. cyberspace. Even before the law was passed by Parliament, human rights activists and organizations criticized it as a threat to freedom of expression. Between 2006 and 2013, only 426 cases were filed under the ICT Act, and the number of people arrested or prosecuted was very low. In 2013, the year it was amended, only 3 cases were filed, but in the following year, 2014, the number of cases jumped to 33. It then continued to grow to 152 cases in 2015, 233 cases in 2016, 568 cases in 2017, and 676 cases in 2018. Many accused were arrested even before an investigation, and about two-thirds of the cases saw the accused acquitted during the trial stage, according to cybercriminal data.
Hello everyone, this is Farhad Divahak. Now let's talk about the Digital Security Act impacting in conducting businesses in Bangladesh. Firstly, there is censorship. The act has caused people and companies to self-censor their expressions and thoughts or talking about sensitive information due to the act's prohibition on information that may be judged as offensive or harmful out of concerns for potential legal repercussions. This may have an impact on communication openness and restrict expression. Second comes compliance challenges. Companies now need to invest resources in understanding and complying with the Digital Security Act provisions. This involves reviewing and revising policies, procedures, and systems to align with requirements. Ensuring compliance can be complex and time-consuming. So, for small and medium-sized enterprises like SMEs, this might be a challenge as they have limited resource in hand. And the third is impact on online platforms. So for the online platforms, including social media networks, they would be facing challenges in enforcing the act because they need to actively monitor and moderate user-generated content to prevent the spread of false information, hate speech, or other prohibited activities. So this also requires a huge amount of investment and tools that will follow up these regulations. Fourth is focus on cybersecurity. Organizations are now increasingly prioritizing investments in robust cybersecurity measures to protect their system, network, and customer data from any types of breach. This includes implementing advanced firewalls, intrusion detection system, and encryption techniques to minimize cyber threats. And the fifth one is legal risk. Business must address any legal issues related to the Digital Security Act. The requirement of the Act may be violated, which might lead to fines, penalties, or legal action that might be quite hefty for the business. Hence, it is needed for the organizations to take appropriate steps to reduce any legal risk that may happen. The sixth and the greatest impact in the business is in the industry of media and journalism, because this might create an influence on media outlets and journalists by posing a threat to their right to free speech and the ability to do investigating reports. News organizations and journalists may self-censor or face legal repercussions as a result of the Act's restrictions on distributing incorrect information or criticizing the government. We have seen the examples from my other fellow mates in the earlier side, so we can relate to it that how impactful it is as an individual as well as for the organization and companies too. The seventh impacting occurrence is for the e-commerce and online businesses. E-commerce and online enterprises may be impacted by the Act's regulations on online transactions, data protection, and customer privacy. They might need to set up more stringent data protection policies, safe payment methods, and channels for handling complaints from customer and privacy issues, like the top financial company that is situated in Bangladesh, that is bKash, is facing many issues because of their data breach and customer information breach and disallocating of money from customers' accounts. So they need to be more aligned with these acts and laws to help prevent any such cyber threats to the customers as well as the organizations too. And the eighth point is small and medium sized enterprises. I think these companies are the most that are to be affected and be impacted by the digital act, because they have very limited resources and have difficult and might face difficulty in understanding how to comprehend with them. And other than that, they might need more assistance in not just understanding as well as implementing it, so that they can combat from this type of mishaps that may face in the future.
Hello everyone, this is Tamim Hassan, and I will be discussing how organizations can navigate through the legal environment due to Digital Security Act. As mentioned by my teammates, the Digital Security Act has created a culture of fear among the business people around the country. So organizations are required to be extra vigilant and conscious while conducting business in Bangladesh to adhere to the spirit of this law. So first and foremost, the awareness is the key. The companies needs to be aware regarding the different aspects of this law, and the employees should also be aware regarding the aspects of this law, so that they are cautious when they are making any kind of public comment or anything. Next thing that needs the company needs to be aware of is the content monitoring. So whatever contents or whatever posts or whatever publicity that the companies are planning to do or going to do in public media, print media, or in social media, they need to be extra vigilant, and every content needs to be scrutinized before going viral or going public, or publicly posted. So different independent team to monitor this kind of activity, or to monitor the contents that the company is publishing, should be one way to mitigate this. The next thing that the companies can take help from are the legal consultation from SMEs or legal firms, because they know the ins and outs of this law, and they can help the companies to basically cope up with the different aspects and different spirits of the law to navigate in a safe way. Next thing that the company should consider is to create separate policy and procedure surrounding this digital security act, or the publishing of their comments and posts or any announcements in public. There should be specific guidelines and specific governance criteria through which all the employees of the organization will be governed regarding their comments or posts or anything which is supposed to be going out of the organization. Next thing that needs to be adhered to is to stay updated about the law, meaning many times the government make changes to this law, they make amendments, or they deduct some of the aspects of the law. So the companies needs to be aware regarding any kind of change in the act, so that any change, whenever it is affected, the companies are able to basically adapt to that and make the employees aware regarding any of the changes. Next, the companies should plan on robust information security. They should plan on robust data protection, state of the art application for data retention and data control, data encryption, two-factor authentication, any kind of tools that can basically help them to fight any kind of digital security act related happenings. In conclusion, what we can say is that businesses operating in Bangladesh face both challenges and opportunities due to this Digital Security Act. While the Act imposes compliances, obligations, and limits freedom of speech, there are also potential benefits derived from these acts, such as the companies are required now to enhance their cyber security. Companies are required to ensure a safe online environment through content monitoring, and they are required to put extra vigilance and ensure some additional controls in their overall organization organizations, which basically attracts more customer, given that the customers will think that the companies are more vigilant and they are more adhering to the law of the nation. So there is also positive sides derived due to this Digital Security Act and the steps taken to mitigate through this. By doing all these steps that we have, by following all the suggestions that we have provided in our previous slides, companies might be able to navigate through the legal environment created by this Digital Security Act. By doing so, they will not only be ensuring compliance, but also they will be protecting their self-interest. That's all from us. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Thank you.